Ishkhan Harutyunyan is among the few who have witnessed and survived Azeri atrocities in the city of Sumgait. Born and schooled in the village of Harich in Armenia's Shirak region, he was conscripted into the Soviet Army in 1987 and stationed in Baku. We saw with our own eyes the savagery of the residents of Sumgait, most of whom were ethnic Azeris, of course, with many convicts among them. In 1989, as violence escalated with lightning speed, Ishkhan, military ID card in hand, waited to board the Yerevan-bound train at the Baku train station. As it happened, he was to share his train compartment with 3 Azeris, 2 men and a woman. The Azeris got drunk and began to threaten Ishkhan. "We're going to slash your throat and toss you out," they told me. 25 years after that incident, Ishkhan confesses he was scared to death, but, he says, as he was resolved not to look afraid, he simply ignored the Azeris, turned around and slept. When I woke up, they were gone. That morning, not only the Azeri passengers, but everyone else on the train except the operator were gone. Ishkhan had made it safely to Yerevan. Luck was on his side. Had he purchased his train ticket for a day later, he would never have reached Armenia. The train he had boarded was the last to run between Baku and Armenia. Afterwards, the rail line ceased to operate. While the battles for the liberation of Artsakh intensified, and the homeland was blockaded, Ishkhan was convinced that the best way to attain self-empowerment was to pursue a higher education. He began his studies at the Khachatur Abovyan Pedagogical Institute. After earning a geography degree in 1993, he returned to his birthplace, the village of Harich, and worked as a teacher at his old school. He was paid 100 drams for each class he taught. He couldn't make a living with such meager earnings. So after doing some research, he started a small paper recycling plant to manufacture toilet paper. His products hit the market in December 1998. Ishkhan says a good factory should never be idle. At first, he didn't have enough money to adequately invest in his business. Moreover, his assembly line, which was essentially cobbled together, did not always operate smoothly. He needed capital to develop the business and increase production. Ishkhan turned to the Turpanjian Family Foundation. I saw a television report about it. There was an award presentation, and afterwards the loan recipients were interviewed. One of them looked familiar. Then I recognized him. It was Ishkhan Harutyunyan, a friend from the village of Mehrashen, who had received a loan from the Turpanjian program for starting a refrigerator business. Ishkhan contacted his old friend, and the following day applied for a business loan from the Turpanjian Rural Development Program, which was founded by renowned Armenian-American industrialist and benefactor Gerald Turpanjian. To date, the program has provided loans for 214 new businesses and created 388 jobs. Ishkhan completed the program's business training course, submitted a business plan, and received a loan in the amount of 2.5 million drams. We bought 2 gas-operated recycling rollers to replace our old electric rollers, which were not at all cost-effective. The manufacturing of toilet paper starts with this massive pulper, which chops recovered paper into pulp. Then the pulp is cleaned and refined and passed through the paper machine. The resulting sheets of wet paper, moving via a conveyor, pass through press rollers which squeeze out water, as well as heated metal rollers which dry the paper. The loan enabled us to bring raw materials to the plant on a regular basis, with no delays, and maintain an uninterrupted flow of production, which today is the most important thing. Though Ishkhan had repaid the loan by 2012, the transportation component of his business remained a key issue. In order to reliably move tons of recovered paper to the plant and distribute his products, he needed to acquire a truck. In 2013, he once again turned to the Turpanjian Rural Development Program and received a second loan. We got the loan and bought this beautiful truck, which has been a tremendous boost to our business. Though business is brisk today, Ishkhan wishes to expand production capacity for a larger market share. Already he plans to apply for a new loan from the Turpanjian program once his current one is paid off. He's confident that he'll receive another round of financing, which will allow him and his children to grow the business some more.